Big Eyes is directed by Tim Burton and stars Amy Adams and Christoph Waltz, and please excuse my incredibly awesome Dragon Ball Z hoodie. This was a gift to me today. Yes, I am doing all these reviews and seeing all these movies on Christmas Day, because you know what? It's my passion. I love it. I do it for you guys, and it doesn't even feel like work sometimes, in all honesty. Busy? Yes. Work? No. This movie is the true story of a painter played by Amy Adams who painted all of these big-eyed children. She became very famous for doing that, except her husband, played by Christoph Waltz, is actually the person who took all the fame and all the credit because he said that he painted all of those. So for years, this poor woman churned out hundreds of paintings and copies of paintings, all in her husband's name, without getting any credit for herself. One of the reasons I was really excited to see this movie is because it's actually a real movie directed by Tim Burton. It's not some whimsical fantasy movie or, you know, some thing with Johnny Depp and white face paint. It's actually a movie. And so I was like, whoa, Tim Burton is being really restrained. And that's one of the things I loved about this movie. Tim Burton really pulled off a fantastically directed and restrained movie in which you could really tell that Tim Burton was like, look, I'm just going to make this movie. You know, I'm not going to do any crazy stuff. It's not going to have Helena Bonham Carter. It's not going to have Johnny Depp. It's not going to have any crazy face makeup. It's just going to be a straight up movie. And even though there are like moments where you can feel a little bit of whimsical fantasy throughout there, it's so limited. This feels just like a locked down movie directed by Tim Burton. And he did a great job. It's actually one of his best movies in years. Probably, maybe his best movie since Big Fish. And Amy Adams was absolutely luminous in this role. She was strong. She was beautiful. She brought this incredible feminine urgency to her character that really just made you want to just get in the screen and punch Christoph Waltz in the face, because you realize that a lot of this happened. It's honestly one of the worst things you can do to someone emotionally is to take credit for someone else's art. And I really connected with that aspect of Amy Adams' character, and she was magnificent in this movie. And I loved a lot of the dialogue about finding your own inspiration and the back and forth between her and Christoph Waltz, especially because it gets deep and dark eventually. It gets to a point where you're like, wow, can this man get any more maniacal? And speaking of Christoph Waltz, I think that for the most part, he's great in this movie. There are some parts though where he gets really over the top to the point where he gets a little cartoony. Now, I don't know if I can critique that though, because the real life woman is still alive. So it is entirely possible that she described the way her husband acted and that Christoph Waltz did it perfectly. But in the movie, he does feel a little bit larger than life, a little bit bigger than he should be from time to time. There are moments in the movie where it does drag a bit though, and a lot of that is due to the fact that the movie doesn't fully explore some of its deeper questions in the way that it could. That, combined with Christoph Waltz being a little over the top from time to time, makes the movie not as good as it could be. I did think it was a lot of fun and one of Burton's best in years, and I loved seeing him do a very restrained movie, and Amy Adams is truly Oscar-worthy in this movie. She's absolutely magnificent. This is not an Oscar baity performance. This is truly a good work, and I think she's great in it. I'm going to give Big Eyes a B+. I do think it's a very good movie, and I think especially artists of any kind will find a lot of things to appreciate about this movie. I saw another movie today, The Imitation Game. I'm going to have a review for that coming very soon, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.